What's going on, traders? Welcome back to another live stream. If you're new, my name is Zach. This is Real Deal Futures. Before we jump onto the charts, make sure you view us on the screen. Trading is risky. Most traders do lose money. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't provide financial advice. Nothing I say or do is a suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is, even in funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content, like Top 1 Futures, Bookmap, and others. Good morning. Good morning. What is happening? Wolf Apps, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Markets open back up right now. Let's go ahead and get this shared. We've got the 7-pack of straight to funded Sim Pro 150Ks that I've been copy trading live with you guys here now for a little bit. See if we can't get some motion in these bad boys. Yesterday was a crazy day. We'll take a look at that. We will be taking a look at what we got on the board for news coming up. We had some 8:30 news, drove us to the upside, but here we are right back down at VWAP. Looking like we want to get ready to sell off. But let's go ahead and jump out, get some analysis rolling. Let me just make sure the stream looks good. What's going on, guys? Welcome. Welcome to the show. Let's see what we got. Let's see. What's up, guys? Welcome. All right. Got Bookmap loaded up on the side. We are looking good in chat. Ralph's trying to make some money in some real estate. Going to put some money in the bank. Hey, do your thing, man. Do your thing. Real estate's fun. All right. Let's hop out to the daily chart. Take a look at what we got rolling on here. This is ES on Project X with Top 1 Futures. We are going to be taking a look at the daily real quick. As I wipe something off my screen, a piece of dust. Still chopping up here. We did not get follow through on that sell-off yesterday towards the end of that session. Would have been a solid buy opportunity right when I was ending that live session. But chopping around up here, really consolidating, ranging up here around these highs. Are we getting ready to break out? I think that's everybody's question. Are we getting ready for a couple Trump tweets that just send us to the moon and off we go? Are we going to keep chopping here? But right now on ES, we have a pretty clear spot that we are looking at with the tops and bottoms of these wicks and the opens and closes of these candles, right? Very clear area of consolidation. So here we are up towards the top end, just like of this zone right here. I'd put another area all the way up here around the 335s, 340s, right? Top ends of these wicks, but this has been an area that we've come back into to test multiple times. Obviously, we have hung out a lot at this 6,300 level here on ES as well. So kind of just rangy, choppy, right? Now, within all that, we get some crazy movements like NYSE session yesterday. I saw a lot of blown accounts on socials yesterday, a whole lot of them. That looked like a very difficult session for many, so I can't complain about staying flat in the live trading session and really into the afternoon. I didn't really get anything. So taking a look at this for the overnight session, so we really got bought right back up after this crazy sell-off. I saw somebody say it's Trump stop runs, right? Like we had this crazy dive down right here, bounced back up right to the highs, and then dove right off, and then no follow through, only to come all the way back up above session highs and close near the highs. So that was kind of funny, but chopping around VWAP for the overnight session. Started to push before London. We kind of put a little double top in here, 5 a.m. classic movement, back down towards VWAP. I've really been capitalizing on these movements in pre-market on NQ. Not this morning, but back down towards VWAP, this kind of reversion that happens, after London kind of does its thing. But as we're opening up here now, pushed up after 8:30 a.m. news right here, all the way up to our overnight high, what I call overnight high. This is our daily and session, this is our daily high so far. Our session high would be down here. We're putting it in right now. Back above prior day high, right? Yesterday's high. Here's the low from yesterday on this crazy push to the downside. Looking somewhat bullish overall, right? But, now we're going to be breaking out of this consolidation. If we're looking for this bullish movement, how far am I looking? Am I looking to trade right into all-time highs? Am I looking to come up to the top of this area right here like I was identifying off that daily chart, that 335s? Maybe. Or do we kind of just drift around and chop, right? Do we pull back down and stay within this, nice clean range that we've been putting in? I don't know, but we're going to find out here today live with you guys and see if we can make some money finding out as well. For some initial trades, I would be fading a pop to the upside. I don't love how we pulled back down to VWAP, and then if we found buyers and started to drive higher, I don't love that. But I'd be fading a pop to the upside above that overnight high level, probably into the. I don't know that I'd fade it right off the bat. I really don't know that I'd fade it right off the bat off of like the 20s. I'd probably be waiting for the 6330s. If we cracked all the way up there, right, towards the top end of this zone, I'd be looking short off of that, just that we don't get continuation on the upside. We kind of keep doing what we're doing. That's pretty far away, though. It's pretty far away. I might look for something in between here, just a wick above overnight high and then a continuation lower. If we just start to sell off, conversely, 85s? 6,300's got quite a bit of liquidity right down below price right here. Yeah, overnight low, same deal. This is just going to be a sweep of there's going to be a sweep of session highs and lows, looking for a reversion trade. Pretty simple stuff. This is rangy, choppy up here. Yes, we get these big trends that start to develop within each session, but I'm going to be looking for my classic reversion trades. We start to get a lot of motion in one direction, a lot of follow through. We could look for some continuation, maybe. Right now, this looks like a pretty good buy back up here off of this level, but right off the open, I'm not going to buy off of VWAP. 6,300, maybe a retest of 6,300 and a come right through type of a move, but I'm not going to YOLO it off the open, as the kids say. So that's kind of what we're looking at on the chart. Welcome to the show, everybody. Welcome. Let me throw this in Discord. Damn, I forgot to throw this in Discord. Wolf is in here. Cool. Saw somebody in Discord saying they couldn't get in. Right back up towards these highs. Let's see. Yeah, buying right off of VWAP looks like it would have been a nice play here. But what's up, chat? What's going on? Scott, Wolf, Ralph, what's happening? Andrew, that move, nice. Emmanuel, what's happening? AVS, what's going on? Greetings from Colombia. Colombia in the building. What's happening, guys? What is happening? Here we go for a push to the upside, man. That buy right off of VWAP looked like it would have paid. Now, do we find some sellers here? We've had this, got an interesting move on Bookmap here. We got quite a bit of liquidity getting moved around. I'm interested in shorting a pop-up here off of the 20s, but I think I'm going to have to wait until all the way up at the 30s. That's really going to be the level. We have 142 on the book up there, and it's towards the top end of this consolidation. We pushed up here, put this overnight high in, really continuing this bullish structure out of yesterday. A retest of this first, the high area of high volume right down to VWAP, and then buyers found. That doesn't make for as great of an aggressive short on a sweep of a high back down to VWAP. We've already returned back down there, hung out, did business. Now buyers taking it higher. I'm going to look for a little bit more of a push. Well, we didn't even sweep it yet, but I'm going to look for a little bit more of a push outside of this area before looking for that classic reversion trade. Just taking a look at Bookmap over here on the right-hand side. Yeah, again, I think we're all waiting to see, like, will we have the blast off day out of this area? Back to the daily chart just to take a quick look, right? Are we going to get the blast off? Is this the wick down below this level? Clean out, grab some liquidity, and now we are ready to continue this drive to the upside, right? Basic market structure and price action, consolidation, and then a push higher. Like, is that what we're getting ready to do? This would be a pretty classic move, right? Pretty classic. Sweep the highs, come all the way down, sweep the lows, and now we're ready to blast off, right? Oftentimes, that's a movement we get. Pretty difficult one to work with if you're trading on higher time frames, but that's it right there. Take everybody out up here, take everybody out down here, fake outs from the much higher time frame view, and now we really blast off. We could be in for that. I'm not going to anticipate that first. I'm going to stick to my guns, stick to my normal plan, which is basic reversion trades right around New York Open back to areas of high volume. So that's what I'm going to play first. But I'm aware, man, we could really start to blast off on this and look at a larger move to the upside. But first, for me, I want to see what happens up here around the 20s. I'm tempted to try something if I can get a stop above the 30s. I really like this short all the way up to this point. I don't know that we get here before we revert back down, but this is looking strong out of the gate. We got a growing CVD, so I'm going to wait and see on this one for now. Maybe if we could see some sellers start to step in up here, I don't mind this short. Just checking a few things on Bookmap. Yeah, at least the 20s. Got to grab the 20s. Let's see what we get, chat. That's a sweep of overnight high. That might be something to work with here. Let's see what we get today, guys. Well, we were hanging out, waiting for this market to start to do something, watching it test this overnight high, this London Asia high. Gonna throw the Discord in the chat. More than happy to have you guys in the 100% free trading Discord if you're not already. Not a VIP feeder program, none of that crazy stuff. Free 99 on that one. More than happy to have you in there. Yeah, this is interesting up here. 305. Finding some sellers right up here at overnight highs, man. I don't know. This isn't terrible for a short. It would just throw a stop. Pretty damn close. Really struggling with market structure on some of these movements right off of the open these days. Just not getting a clean setup. I've gotten really close. Like looked at levels and had a lot of clean stuff get ready to get set up and just not get there. So I challenge myself to stay patient, but this one's pretty close. So we got 945. We got our 15-minute opening range. Let's see if we crack outside of this towards the 20s, and it would allow me to test a short here. If we really continue to push to drive to the upside, I'm just too early on it. Could run a real wide stop for a nice reversion back down into this range, but I'm cautious of the 30s, man. The 63 30s. That looks like an interesting spot. Let's see. Yeah, guys, a little bit locked in here. Just watching this on Bookmap. Here we go, driving higher. Yeah, driving higher on this one. Let's see what happens up here around the 20s. Yeah, I'm gonna wait, guys. I'm looking at 63.30. This looks strong out of the gate. I don't want my stop where I want a potential entry, so I have to wait. If it comes back down, it sells back through VWAP. That's fine. Here's what I'm looking at. We got quite a bit of liquidity, 10 points higher. We've had it on the book up here. I at least need to wait for a pop higher than this, maybe even off the 25s to get a stop above this. We could absolutely just sweep this overnight high level, right? Come outside of this and then just kind of revert back in. I'm looking at this as a potential level for some sellers to step in, because so far it's off to the races. We've already tested VWAP. We can come right back down on this now, but that's not a clean setup for me. And if I'm going to jump in with a 10-point stop, which I've liked to do on here on ES, that's what I'm looking at, right? And I don't like that. Could run something like that, but then I really need a large movement to play out to make it worth my while from a risk perspective. So I like something more like this if we can get it. So strong CVD pushed in the upside. We have liquidity above. Sellers can step in. Buyers can take their foot off the gas at any point, but I got to look for around a level of liquidity. I don't know that I'm going to wait all the way until the 63.30s, but I would like that with a stop loss, really way out high to say, if I'm dead wrong, I'm dead wrong on this. Otherwise, I got to run a real wide stop on it. So let's see what we get. Long off VWAP right off the open definitely would have paid. I'm sure the ASFX boys are cleaning up on this. These VWAP plays, man. If you're new to trading, you're confused, you can't really wrap your head around too much. Just trading straight off of VWAP is really not a bad play. Really not a bad play at all. Let's see what we get out of this bad boy. Let's see what we get. Actually looking at throwing a limit order on a separate account so I could catch it if we do get a pop-up there, but... Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to throw this up at 63. Oh, 63.30. Nice. Got something set up on separate. Sorry, guys. Just taking a look and seeing what I got rolling on a... Awesome. That is set. Q. Coming back down on this one for now, though. Let's take a look. What's up, chat? Scott's talking to himself. Awfully talkative, mostly to myself. That's funny. Selling off these right above these 20s. Dang, let's see. You seen a drop in volume? Not really. Not a heavy drop in CVD. Not just yet. Here we go for a little bit of a turn back down. Again, I like these 30s. Last bit of liquidity above price, maybe for a reversion. We sell off right through here. Like I said, I've waited patiently for my setup to come, and I just won't be getting it yet. Let's see what we got. What's up, everybody on YouTube, on Kick, on X? Smash like, smash subscribe, smash follow. Whatever you want to do. You don't have to do anything. You could do whatever you want to do. What are my settings on VWAP? My VWAP settings are standard. This is a standard VWAP, straight from the indicators tab. You can take a look at the inputs over here. I just have it colored white. That's it. Standard VWAP, standard session VWAP. You can see it resetting at session change over there. So let's see what we get out of this bad boy. Buy off of VWAP definitely looked like a play. We got a little bit of seller stepping back in here. I don't have it in me to short it from down here without running a real wide stop. Not if I'm looking at an area up above price for a short. If you want to play a continuation move to the upside, stop loss just below here. You're hella bullish. Go ahead and send it. Do your thing. That might be a move for you. But for me, I'm going to be hanging tight on this, watching to see what happens. We start to come back down on it. Again, I don't have a short from right here. It's not a terrible play. It would be a sweep of this overnight high, but I got levels on my chart that I got to pay attention to. So I've been caught in a lot of these situations, man. Just like the market not doing exactly what I need it to do or even close to it to get a setup to even throw trades on. And honestly, it's kept me out of some dicey situations. Like, it kept me out of this yesterday. I got my finger on the pulse of a lot of other traders trading, right? Just by way of guys that share and, kind of what goes on. This was a lot of blown accounts. This was a lot of losses yesterday, right? You can really catch a feel for that on IG and X. Like, you hop on there and it's just straight red P&Ls and, tough days. And I made a reel about it. Like, so you have some of these days where you're like, did I completely forget how to trade? Like really bullish overall, looking good into the open. Here we go. We sell back to VWAP. Maybe we want to come back above. We're looking kind of bullish. And then what do? Knife to the downside on Trump news. Okay, fake out. We swept the lows down here. We come all the way back up. All right, took everybody out. Looks like we're going to, break out to the upside, continue this bullish move. What do? Sell off. Gnarly sell off. Maybe you're waiting until down here and you're like, all right, I'm going to start selling for continuation to the downside. What do we get? Not only a gnarly pullback and then a continuation, which would have been okay, a complete reversal, right? Off the lows all the way back up. So, this stuff is kind of gnarly. And I prefer to not, if I can, right? If I can keep myself out of just getting chopped up in this, that's great. And I could just end flat on another day. I'm ending with a DLL, so I don't want to start complaining when I don't have clean setup, something that's looking really, really good for me. I just want to sit patient and wait. That's my play. So I want to get trades on here with you guys. I want to be able to manage risk. So far, this is looking like a buy. We come all the way back down. Let me tell you this. We come all the way back down. Conversely, we don't push to the upside. I'm going to look long on this. CVD is holding really strong. We pull an aggressive wick lower with not a lot of selling volume. Like we come all the way back to the 305s. I'm going to look long. I'm going to look long for a continuation. So, short off a level, long off a level. That's what I'm looking at. Very simple. Waiting for a little bit of price action, market structure, volume, and order flow to line up for that. But I'd be looking long on a pullback, on an aggressive pullback if we started to get that instead. Wanted to throw the links that I throw in the main chat into the X chat because you guys don't get no links. No comments from me. You don't get anything. But yeah, if you guys are on X tuning in, I see like a bunch of people every day hopping on there. There's a gnarly lag. There's a lot of latency, delay on Twitter, on X, if you're listening in from there. You don't get that on YouTube or even Kick. I haven't really gotten to test Kick's latency just yet. But it's pretty gnarly off of X. So if you want some encouragement to come and hang out on YouTube, there it is. You're hanging out with a pretty serious delay on that one. Which, nothing wrong with that if you don't mind it, but let's see what we get. I think we drive higher for now. Here we go. Here we go with the drive higher. You are very live at 5 on YouTube. Yep. Yeah, buddy. What's up, YouTube? What's going on, everyone? Watching this on Bookmap, man. Again, still like the 30s for a short. That's my play. I could show you guys Bookmap, let you know what I'm looking at up here. Exactly why. Let's go ahead and do that. Make it easy for you. Make it easy for you, chat. I got to readjust this, by the way, before Austin Silver hops in here and yells at me. I got to readjust my my StreamYard layout, which I will pretty soon. But in the meantime, here's what we are looking at here on Bookmap, right? Nice growing cumulative volume delta, right? Showing the difference between buyers and sellers. We got buyers outweighing sellers as we are rising, right? Or at least this line's going up while this line is going up if we want to dumb it down for simple pattern recognition. What I'm looking at here is these 6330s that have been on the book all the way since we opened up or before. Yeah, since we opened up or before. Pretty nice level up there. That has remained on the book. Nice round number, right? Even tens. Up above that, we don't have too much. We got a little bit now starting to peek its way in. If we start to reverse here and drop off really aggressively, I could see a short from up here at this level for a move back down. But if I'm going to take something real aggressive, I don't want to have a stop right here. I'd want this taken because I think that's sell orders that could step in. Or again, just pattern recognition, because I'm going to try to always keep it as stupidly simple as possible. Pattern recognition, we got a nice lit up level on the chart. I think we're likely to go and grab that for a potential reversion. So far, this is looking strong, so I'm cautious to short it from down here. I don't want to short it here and have a stop right here. Could, like I said, off the 25s, I'd be interested to see what happens as we come up here. Maybe give it room to push up a little bit higher, but this is, so far, this is looking strong. To the downside, we got liquidity to come back down and grab. I think we love coming back down to that 6,300 number. We've been chopping around at it. We hung out down there off the open. I think we could easily come back down there, not continue this move to the upside, and just make this a choppy, rangy day. Even if we are going to continue this move to the upside, pull all the way back down, give me a way to take a win, maybe just around VWAP, prior day high, 308s on the way down here. So that's what I'm looking at. Conversely, we sell off from here. I don't have a short. I'm looking long down here, right? I'm looking long. Yeah, even lower than down here after filling all of this. But didn't get to jump into some kind of continuation off of VWAP right off of the open. That would have been an initial play for sure. So now I'm seeing if I could trade off the extremes. Waited patiently, was thinking about it off of overnight high, right? Glad I stayed patient. Wouldn't be super stoked if I was in a short getting stopped out right now. But I'm interested in these 25s. Maybe we don't come all the way up here if we're going to revert. I could see one more pop now that we're consolidating. We kind of got this little double top coming in, right? I do utilize a little bit of price action and market structure, to apply some discretion to my trading. I could see a little bit of a pop above here, maybe, and then a reversion back down where we don't go and grab this. So that's the thought process so far, guys. That is the thought process. Back to the candlestick chart. Let's see what ES has got for me today. So far, not too much. Throw this banner back up while we're hanging out waiting. You guys know the drill. Most of you have been on here before. We don't have too many. I don't think we have too many new people. I never know who's really on here or not. But if you want to check out Top 1 Futures, the accounts that I'm trading on, straight to funded on Project X, there is the link. No eval, right into a funded account. Pretty sweet. Code RDF gets you the best deal. Better than the email, the website, any of that fun stuff. Yeah, there's the double top playing out right now. No sweep even to the 25s. Chat, what do you think? Let's throw a poll in here. Let's see what you guys think. Let's get the up or down poll. There you go, YouTube. You guys got the poll. We long America or Bear City here? What are you guys looking at this? What are you guys seeing off this structure? Yeah, this looks like this looks okay. This looks okay for a short up here for me. Again, I want to see what happens off these 25s. I don't know that we go and grab those 30s. Again, I want to stop above it. We started to drop off on CBD, on volume in general. Let's see what this push to the upside looks like. Yeah, we're dropping off a little bit up here. I could see this. I could see this being a reversion pretty quickly if we get it. If not, I think we're going to drive higher. But just trying to give it a second up here, guys. But I'm eyeballing this short, as I've been talking about. I'm eyeballing this short, maybe not grabbing these 25s. It's going to put me with a stop. Tighter than I'd like, though. Let's see. See if we can get a little bit of price rising on this continual declining volume. If we get a pop up here right to the 25s, I might look to grab it. Again, if you're straight up bullish, look for your continuation trade, right? You can fade me on this one. Yeah, we got 379 hopping in it at 63.25. I like those 25s. Got to see that hit. I got to see this hit. I can't hop in short right below this. Let's see if the market's going to play with me, get real close to get set up, and just not give it to me. But we're starting to drop off on volume a little bit up here, slowing down, right? Starting to consolidate. We are testing this high again, so I do expect it to pop. But I don't know that we get crazy follow through and we just rip through like the to like the 63.40s. We go run all time highs. Don't know that we get that. Let's see what you guys say on YouTube. Long, you guys are heavy long America. Send it, dude. I love it. I love it. Send it. Yeah, here we go. Send it, long America. I like it. Do your thing. Do your thing. 83% of you guys. How many people? It's probably not that many people responded. What do we got? Oh, yeah, no. Most of you guys are looking long. You guys are looking long. Send it. Do your thing. I like that. I like that. You guys have conviction. I'm not looking long on this. I just don't think I'm going to get my entry. Yep. That started to look really good for the short. This market is going to play with me, man. This market's really been playing with me over the last couple of weeks. Very, very close to areas that I want to enter. We'll see. Maybe we crack back up real quick, take out one more wick, but it started to drop off up here. Volume started to drop off, started to decline. CBD started dropping. This looked pretty good for a reversion back in. We'll see. We'll see what this looks like. We're not done yet. But I've had a lot of these very close to what I need to jump in, even applying some discretion, right? Deciding when exactly I'm going to smash that buy or sell button. And just the market, market doesn't give me my entry. Just doesn't give me my entry. Let's get some background music rolling. Right back up on this one. Let's see. If we could grab those 25s, I'm in. I don't know that we do. Don't know that we do. But as always, guys, while we're hanging out watching this market, trying to get a trade on here, appreciate you guys hopping on. These markets have been difficult to work with, for sure. That's personal and subjective. I don't think everybody feels that way, right? Some guys might be killing it. You might love that. Here we go. You might love that volatility, that momentum, back and forth, play off those news wicks. I see some difficult to work with markets personally. So I appreciate you guys hopping on. If you're having a tough time, you're struggling, you're getting to learn to sail a ship in rough seas. I love that saying. Smooth seas never made a strong sailor, something along like that, those lines. There's a couple of those silly sayings. The oak tree grows strong in the wind. If you are learning to trade now in these really, really crazy times, like tough times, geopolitical news, war breaking out, tariffs, crazy, this U.S. administration, for better or for worse, sends the market all over the place. And on low time frames, it can be kind of dicey to work with. But if you are learning to trade, you're doing well in these times. I think you're going to go far. I think you're really going to go far. Because these are no joke. These are no joke. There's times where the market just chills out, trends really nicely, respects levels really cleanly, just kind of acts like patterns repeat themselves very, very frequently. And there's times where everything looks good, and every other day we have a comment out of the U.S. administration that just sends the market rocketing on the highest amount of volume for the entire session and the day, and the most amount of volatility, right? An unexpected kind of like news release every day at an unanticipated time. That's gonna be difficult. It can be difficult to work with. Now, you might be on the right side of that about half the time that you're on the wrong side of it. A lot of times you get wicked out and then it moves, in the opposite direction. So in my mind, those are hard to work with. They're difficult to work with. We're not going to grab these 25s. We're going to sell off here. Long sigh, deep sigh, guys. Let's see. Dropping on CVD. I'm waiting for one more little crack up so I don't have to jump in. Yeah. Nope, we're not gonna get it. We're gonna sell off. I could see it on volume. It's just not my entry, man. I just don't want to start jumping in 3-4 points before my entry sets up. It's just not a good way to trade. I end up taking stops because my stop loss is 5 or 6 points below really where it should be. And I want it well above the 30s. If we have to go and grab that, I still want to be short. So this is just not setting up for me. Going to be another one of these frustrating sessions. But let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. Yeah, you guys were long America. Let's see. Maybe it plays out. Maybe I'm dead wrong. We just turn and burn and rip everybody's face off to the upside. You guys are still looking long on this. Very nice. MYM, this news candle on the 15-minute chart will be the one for entry. Let's see how it rolls. Nice. Z, brother, always thanks for always showing up for free. It's amazing. Absolutely, man. Yeah, I've been showing up for free, but the market just really hasn't been setting up for me, and I'm not a fan of putting on, just stupid trades. I've done it a lot in the past. I just don't enjoy doing it. I don't think it shows good trading. I don't think it's fun and entertaining just to watch. Maybe somebody else take losses, but I just don't think it's great. So I try to prevent myself from doing it, and sometimes it ends up with just keeping myself out of chop with what probably would have been losses. This one's frustrating because I got real close again, right around these 25s, what I wanted. But here we go with markets selling off. So it is what it is. Wide stop loss kind of killed me. Should have gotten out at a regular stop. Nice. Wolf got burned early in a short. Waiting for something to happen now. Yeah, still watching this, but I would have liked to be in off of this, right? Grabbing some profit already, but this is just the market being difficult to work with. Not difficult to work with, just me not getting an entry. Let's put it that way. Just me not getting a valid entry. So I'll be right back, guys. I'm gonna grab some water. I don't see anything setting up for me for a moment, so. What's up, guys? Yep. There's my short playing out. I've had about I don't know, a half a dozen of these over the last 2 weeks. 6 ticks from my entry point. Just not getting there. Frustrating to watch these play out because that's a W, right? A nice full 1RW. But I do what I can I do what I can just to not hop on here with you guys and trade live like so many do. And I've tried to tell myself, take more trades, right? Get a little bit more aggressive, put some stuff on so you don't just have no trade sessions. So we're not just looking at the market. But it's not how I would actually trade. It's just not what I would actually really do if I wanted to trade well. And then it begs the question, like, what the hell are you doing? If you're not just trading well, you're just throwing trades on for entertainment, just for shits and giggles. I trade more aggressively in these accounts that I trade live with you guys than I would on another account. But I try not to just dip into doing dumb stuff. I have to apply some level of consistency. Otherwise, the results are just going to be straight garbage. So it's hard enough as it is to try to make some serious progress and have good results. So that's my long way of saying, I got to have a couple no trade sessions on here if I don't have a setup. That's the long comment. I get tempted to start doing dumb stuff, and it's just not fun. It usually just ends up as being a dumb loss, right? So anyway, there's the short. Couple ticks to my entry. Just a huge level on Bookmap. There's 420 on the book up there, heavy. For me, there's no reason to get short right below that as we're coming up a point within it, a point and a half within that. I got to wait for that to get filled real quick. We didn't get that today. CVD started to drop off up here. So another check mark for confidence with CVD. I really enjoyed using cumulative volume delta. Really close to an entry. But again, I start hopping in down here. I have a stop loss at the 63.30s, another area that I'm watching for, potential reversion where we have liquidity. And, I get stopped up there. I'm not super stoked on that. But this was my short playing out to the downside. So here we are back down around VWAP. We'll see what we get from here. What do you guys think? What are you guys running with, Wolf, Nate, AVS? AVS getting short. Yeah, there we go. Was looking short on this one, just didn't get it. Royal Freshness, do you trade NQ? I do. I trade NQ in pre-market. I haven't really been touching NQ for a while, but I'm back to trading NQ in pre-market for a couple reasons. It moves a whole lot more than anything else moves in pre-market. ES is just painfully slow. Also, if I'm running a trade into the open on one set of accounts, I don't want to be also trading ES on a second set of accounts. You're not really allowed to do that. So it's kind of just also a don't break any rules with a prop firm type of deal. Yeah, so I talked about a long play. Talked about a potential long play here. Let me just go ahead and clear this out. Cancel everything that I had over here. Yeah, talked about a long play on the way back down. I don't know about this one now, guys. Not really my setup. Got to wait for it to sell way back off. There's prior day high getting tapped. Maybe down at the 05s, but we're selling off aggressively. I don't want to get long into this. I think we're going to continue lower. That was my short from up here again. I think we're continuing lower, maybe down to the 300s, down below this. I'd be a little bit interested, but this could start to be the face ripper to the downside coming back down through this. So long off of VWAP. If you just want to get long off of VWAP, there's a play. I saw somebody say that in the chat. It's been a play all week. And, if that's your setup, if that's your approach, send it. Back test it, do your thing. It's not mine. I think it can be very dangerous. I think you could literally trade with nothing else other than VWAP on it. Take longs on pullbacks to VWAP, shorts on pullback up to VWAP. If we crack through VWAP really aggressively and you're invalidated, take it the other way. I think you could literally have an entire profitable strategy just around that if you wanted to. So, but for me, it's not my setup. It's not my trade. It's not my approach. My trade, my approach, not setting up. Just continually not setting up. For me, I'd be looking long off the 300s on this. Aggressively long off the 300s. At best. And I really don't even love that much. It's not a great setup. So I'm getting another one where I'm going to be hanging out yapping with you guys. But feel free, ask questions in the chat. If you guys want to yap about trading, I'll talk to you while I'm just hanging out. YM's going down. Time to long NQ. Already did, brother. That sounds like Nate is getting long. Oh, he locked it up. Locked it up. You guys were talking about long. Ralph was getting long off of VWAP. You mean 4 a.m. start? Royal Freshness. I've done a couple of those really early morning streams. Nothing this week because I've just been sick with a cold. Finally starting to feel a little bit better. I'm talking about when I wake up. When I wake up super early in the morning, hopping directly onto the charts, taking a look at NQ, and if we are extended to the upside or downside, I like to put a stupidly simple trade on, which is back to VWAP. Right back to VWAP. It's paid me for a max profit across multiple accounts most of the days this week. I missed it today because I just didn't wake up early, but it would have paid today. Had I hopped on at 5 a.m. and hit short as we started to come off those highs, stop loss above recent level of structure, take profit, down around VWAP, that would have paid for a nice full, whatever it is, but it would have paid. Let's see if we get a bounce off of VWAP here, which it looks like we're getting already. Prior day high there. Not my setup, but bouncing off VWAP all week this week. Let's see what the market's got for us, guys. No setup yet. Excuse me. Let's see. Bounced off a VWAP. Very nice, Ralph. You took that one. Broke my rules, took a small loss, missed the actual entry per my rules. How do I punish his behavior? Need a shocking device. Yeah, man. It's discipline. Comes down to discipline. Comes down to understanding of the markets. It's a combination. Here's your punishment, Adil. Right? Here's your punishment. Go into the mindset channel in my Discord. It's not much of a punishment. Go into the mindset channel in my Discord and watch the Mark Douglas seminar. I think that'll help you out. I think if you make it through all of those hours and you don't have a much better understanding of this game of probabilities that we're playing, the way the market moves in a very random fashion, the way that you have to interact with it to stand a chance at making money consistently, I don't know. I think you will. AVS looking at YM, another level. Trying to build internal discipline. Trying to walk away with the help of lockouts since the Indian market's 2. And that was the kill switch here. Still want to get a mindset right. Yep. Feel better, Zach. I'm out. Getting a massage today. Small green, but a winning day. Very nice. Very nice. Lock it up. Yep. Locked back up. Lock it up, man. Wolf, I stole your crown. Would you long hair? Yeah, it's a good spot for a long. In hindsight capital, long off a VWAP. Like I was saying, if you just want to trade with a VWAP on your chart, I don't think that's a bad play. Don't think that's a bad play. It's not my setup, not my trade, so no long for me. I still think we're coming back down on this. CVD dropped way off. Volume dropped way off. Call me crazy. I'm still looking short on this. I don't have any level to trade off of. I don't have a spot getting hit. We just got this kind of slow uptrend structure. So no real trade for me. You could probably just hear a little bit of the lack of patience and frustration in my voice. I feel the same emotions that everybody else feels, and if you trade for a long time, you still feel the same stuff, right? You get really close to what a good entry would be for you, and you don't really grab it. You just don't act on the dumb. You don't act the wrong way, right? You don't act the way that I would in the past, where I'd go, oh, wait a minute. Okay, we got so close, and now we started to come down here. And then what would I do in the past? I jump in really aggressively short all the way down here, right? I'd chase it, and I'd go stop loss up here, my normal risk structure, 10 to 10 and 10 or whatever it was, and this is what would happen, right? Or maybe I would jump in here, right, on another day, just a little bit more aggressively, and I get stopped out as we push up to a higher level, right, that I have marked on my chart. But nonetheless, it's difficult to watch the market move, especially if it's like multiple days in a row where you're getting close to setups, but you just don't have a setup. You don't have a valid setup for you, and you're not taking it. Market moves, you still see opportunity, even though it's choppy. It can just be frustrating to watch, right? But you don't get paid by the hour. You don't get paid to trade more. That's just not how the market works. So if you start to get used to that, you recognize you're going to have to sit at the desk and put hours in, and whether or not you're hitting the buy or sell button, it's not going to impact how much you're making in the long run. But nonetheless, it's still you still feel that same like close to entry. I got an indication of what I think the market's going to do. You could throw on dumbass trades just to trade, but no real good entry, no solid way to structure risk. It's just, I know I'm repeating myself, but that's the thought for today. Britt, Crusher got the glasses. These are blue light blocking sunglasses. These are just inexpensive ones. The brand of these is Blue Moak, BLOOMOAK. When I first was like hopping on streams and watching people, I'd be like, why do all these dudes have these lame like orange sunglasses on? What is this, like some cult? And then I started streaming a lot and being in front of my screen a lot when I'm not streaming like a ton of time, and I have fairly light eyes that are somewhat sensitive in the sun anyway, my little weak eyes, and you start getting migraines. You start getting like crazy jacked up eye strain. So I bought a couple pairs. I actually have these. You actually can't even see like the lenses on them. Same style, but they're like too light. Last week I streamed every day for New York session, and then I woke up at 2:30 in the morning and I was on the charts until like 5 or so with you guys streaming for London as well. And by Friday, my eyes felt like I had just held them in an open oven, like I burned them. So I don't think it's common. I don't think they're needed for normal people. But if you sit in front of a screen, or you have, let's say you have blue light blaring into your eyes like 15 hours a day, you might want to try to throw some protective measures on there. So that's what's up with the that's what's up with the blue light blocking sunglasses. Well, Lone Wolf, I told you I know where I am going. See, I know where price is going. Yep. Yeah. Funny, man. I still think we're coming back down on this. I think this is a pullback before we start to sell off. Still a dropping CVD. I'm looking short on this. 20s, we got a little bit of liquidity that we didn't go and grab either. Here we go, dropping back off. Just not a clean setup at this point. I still think we're coming lower. I think this is going to be a beautiful short play, but just not a setup for me. Unfortunately. Can you share a link where to buy? Yeah, hop in Discord, bro. I'll throw you a link. Hop in Discord later today. What's up, fam? P Doggy. You guys and your ridiculous YouTube names. Giveaways, random days, random times on the live stream. Gave out a 50K straight to funded account yesterday. Maybe it's today. I don't know. You're going to have to hang out to find out. But it's live on stream. Multiple accounts every week. 50K account giveaways, straight to funded pro accounts from Top 1 Futures. Shout out Top 1. But random days, random times, form drops. I don't let you guys know ahead of time. But we haven't done one yet today. Yeah, this one is just an unusually frustrating market. Great read as these are starting to happen, but not anywhere near a level for me to execute. So yeah, it is frustrating. Yeah, no setup. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna call this one. I'm gonna call this one early. I know I've been hanging out on here for an hour, and I'm frustrated that I'm having multiple no trade sessions. I have no setup today. I had nothing set up at all, and the more that I watch this market move in a way that I'm expecting it to, without hitting levels, the more and more inclined I am to put on a dumbass trade. And I would just prefer not to do that. It's way more painful to put the dumbass trade on, take an L, knowing that you shouldn't have had the trade on in the first place. So I don't see anything setting up for me recently, in the near future. So I'm just going to wrap it up. Sorry to make it a short one. Sorry to have two no trade sessions in a row, but I got nothing here. So there's two options: just to trade, or to actually attempt to trade. I have multiple setups a day. These New York Opens have just been not a lot to do, and then maybe into the middle of the day, the afternoon, you get something. Can look at changing up streaming times, which I might do in the future, but for now, it just is what it is. So I got nothing on this, guys, so I'm not just going to sit here and tempt myself to take a trade. Anyway, appreciate you guys for hopping on. Going to call it. Hop on here tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. You know we got another 50K account to give away, so there's your early heads up to the person that was asking. Probably going to run one tomorrow. Check you guys later. Remember, quick disclaimer, I don't provide financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing you see or hear from me is suggestion or recommendation to do anything at all. Trading's risky. Most traders lose money. Do your own research. Make your own trading decisions. Read CFTC Rule 4.41 on simulated trading, which is what this is. Even if funded prop firm accounts, and the affiliate and partnership disclaimer that says I stand to make money from links and codes in my content like Top 1 Futures, Code RDF, Bookmap, and others. Appreciate you guys hopping on. All good. I watch you because, not because I want tradertainment, because I want to see traders in their process. No setup equals no trade. Short later. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, dude. Again, I'm challenged with it because, and I see people hopping off. Just real quick, I'm challenged with it. I know I repeated myself multiple times. When I put a trade on, if I press the buy or sell button right now, my views would jump by about 50% immediately. So knowing that as a streamer, you're incentivized even more to trade, right? I also do want to build a track record on here. I don't want to just waste time. But again, what are we, there's a balance. There's a balance between just being way too conservative and never trading and being way too aggressive and just having fun and not doing anything that resembles actually trading. So, I've adjusted in the past to make sure that I can get aggressive on these low time frames with you guys, but there's absolutely a balance. So I appreciate you saying that. That's kind of where I'm going with it, right? There's plenty of other channels where you hop on and the trader is going to take 30 trades every day. Every single day, win or loss, they're just going to scalp, however they trade, and, that's that. I'm going to have sessions where I don't have a setup. I'm going to have sessions where I sit here and wait patiently, and I wait for my setup to come, and it doesn't come. And then I have an option. To not take a trade, just gamble, right, just for fun, or not put that trade on and talk about, the process of how I think that's important to do as a trader. So I'm doing the latter. We'll see how that goes for me. Anyway, appreciate you guys. Thanks for hopping on, as always. Live tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. If I catch something and I have some time to throw it in Discord, I'll try to talk about it. That often gets hard into the afternoon when I'm on 37 different things, but Appreciate you guys hopping on. I will see you tomorrow. Trade well, trade safe. Be cautious of those Trump tweets and comments. We don't have too much into the afternoon that's expected, but structure your risk, trade well. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you.